Spider-Man Last Hunt premieres on January 29th only on LewisFilms. You can watch the official trailer in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 3 ways in which Venom's story will be included within the MCU. Let's talk about it. But before we do get into that, if you are new around here and enjoy all types of Spider-Man content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit the bell next to the subscribe button to not miss any more content on the channel as soon as it gets released. I do all types of Spider-Man content, including fan fictions, gaming, and stuff about the movies as well. But with that being said, let's get straight into the video. Number 1, the classic symbiote storyline. So this involves obviously Peter Parker and Eddie Brock, in which Peter gets the symbiote and then it passes on to Eddie Brock later down the line after Peter goes down the darker path, and then obviously attaching to Eddie Brock and building that relationship between the two of them before they eventually come crash landing down, and then Eddie Brock becomes Venom and then they end up fighting each other by the end of the movie. Now the only reason I don't see this happening is because we already have an Eddie Brock, which is Venom, but he's in the Venomverse. And now I don't think they'll introduce another Eddie Brock in the MCU, is one, it could get quite confusing. Although the multiverse stuff has already happened, I don't think Sony would actually want 2 Eddie Brocks on the go at the same time. Therefore, I don't think Eddie Brock will actually become Venom in this universe. However, I do think that Spider-Man will get the symbiote at some point in the next 3 movies, but I just don't know who will get it after and how they will handle the Venom storyline. Which leads me on to my second option, which could be the Osborn storyline. So what this means is, I'm just kind of generalizing it, but if they do end up introducing the Osborns, especially Norman Osborn, Norman could take the symbiote under his wing after discovering it and then go on to learn more about it. And then obviously we could get something similar to Spider-Man PS4 where Harry eventually gets the symbiote. And the reason I bring this point up is because the MCU Spider-Man seems to be going in the direction of Spider-Man PS4 at the moment. There are a lot of similarities between the two, especially with the classic suit from the end of No Way Home and then the classic suit from the PS4 game. They look very, very similar. Also, it looks like that they're taking inspiration from The Apartment as well. I saw some people do a comparison between the two, and since Spider-Man PS4 seems to be one of the most popular Spider-Man medias out there today, I wouldn't be surprised if the MCU does take some inspiration from that game. Also, if you do remember in No Way Home, a bunch of moves that Spider-Man did in his fight with Green Goblin was actually taken from the PS4 game as well. So it's clear that they're not hiding the inspiration from the game, which means we could potentially get some sort of Osborn storyline that replicates what's going on in the PS4 universe right now, which is the introduction of Norman Osborn and then having Harry Osborn get the symbiote and Harry potentially be the one that comes Venom. So in this story I have in mind, obviously Norman will get the symbiote, Peter will end up stumbling upon the symbiote obviously after becoming friends with Harry, and then the relationship will build up and then break down just as it would with Eddie Brock until Harry eventually gets the symbiote, and then obviously Harry and Peter will fight as Venom and Spider-Man, and this whole road of the Venom symbiote story could eventually lead into a massive Green Goblin story as well. Now the last option, which I personally like and I think is personally my favorite, is a Secret Wars type storyline. So if you guys don't remember, in the comic books, Spider-Man actually gets the symbiote story when he goes to space in the Secret Wars comic book, and from that point out Peter Parker has the symbiote. Now while the symbiote actually has different qualities in the original comics than it actually has been associated with in recent cartoons and movies, I still do think they could combine 2 of the storylines to fit a really good mold for the MCU. Since it looks like the MCU is going to be going down a Secret Wars path shortly, and since Spider-Man is being built up to be this grand figure in the MCU, it's not out of the question that he might be one of the main characters in that movie. And what better way to introduce the symbiote than to have it follow him to space and then attach to him while he's actually in space. And I think this would be a cool way to introduce it, and it would also be a really nice way to spice things up, because as we do know, Spider-Man 3 and the cartoons in recent times have all done it in a same sort of way, where Peter will get the symbiote and then Venom gets it and then they end up fighting. So I do think Secret Wars would be a cool way to introduce the symbiote and something to be a little bit different than what has come before. But with that being said, let me know in the comment section down below, what are your ways you'd like the Venom symbiote to be included within the MCU movies after that post-credit scene in Spider-Man No Way Home. I want to hear all your thoughts, but if you are new to the channel, like I did say at the start of the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit that notification bell to not miss any more news on the movies, games, TV shows, all the like, and we post all types of videos on this channel about Spider-Man, so make sure to hit the bell so you don't miss any videos as soon as they come out on the channel. Spider-Man Last Hunt premieres on January 29th, so make sure to be there for that. I've worked really hard on that project. I can't wait for you all to see it. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and peace.